Welcome back to a very special episode of Bosco's Box Office Breakdown. This week today, we're going to break down how terrible the Oscar nominations were today. When I woke up this morning, I was hoping to hear great news from Emma Stone and Seth MacFarlane. But nay.
No.
Nay, my friend.
Nay, they did not it.
In the way that South Park had that episode about how Spielberg and Lucas raped Indiana Jones, that's how I feel about what happened this morning.
I mean, there was so many great films.
So many great movies. Movies are getting better and better and better.
They are getting better, and yet that is not on display here.
Yes. At all.
Mm-hmm.
Third time's a charm. Yes. Don't wink at me. That was weird. Okay, so we're going to start from the bottom and kind of work our way up to Best Picture of the Year. So we're going to start off with things that other shows might not talk about, but for Joey especially, he deems them very important, so I'm just going to let him go on a quick little roll. We have Best Achievement in Editing. And here's something that we actually talk about on the show quite a bit, because we're always talking about the pacing of a movie, and it's an editor's job to make that happen.
And all the stories and how
everything becomes cohesive.
Right.
Yes. So we have the Best Achievement in Editing is for Argo, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Lining Playbook, and Zero Dark 30.
Now, Zero Dark 30, we just spoke about how I felt like it had terrible editing.
Yes.
So I'm surprised there.
It's there because it's that hit movie.
It's that movie, and it's a big movie. It's a big scope. So I can see it, but I can't see it because it just had horrible editing.
There was so much better that was out there that you're going to limp in with this one.
Right. I think... Oh, wait, huh?
Oh, no, go for it.
I think a few snubs for that one were for Looper, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Big snub on that one. But I think that it should go to...
I think you're going to say Life of Pi.
Life of Pi.
Yeah.
That beautiful, everything about it was pretty perfect. But if not that, then Argo.
Okay.
Because, yes.
Cool. All right, so on to the next one. We have Best Achievement in Cinematography. We have Django.
It's a huge one, so...
Django Unchained, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Skyfall, and then Anna Karenina.
Anna Karenina.
Sure, whatever you said.
Anna Karenina.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is that the one with Keira Knightley?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which had some beautiful,
shots to it.
Scenes and shots and everything, but I think it's Skyfall for sure.
Okay.
Roger fucking Deakins.
Here's where, and I know you and I talked about this on the drive over. Where the fuck was The Master?
Master had the best cinematography of the year, if not of the entire decade.
Yes.
Like every shot in that movie was absolutely pitch perfect in every way.
Mm-hmm.
It was framed perfectly. It was shot beautifully. The use of framing and the use of everything was just so perfect.
Yes.
And it got snubbed because it's The Master. That's why it got snubbed. Is because it's The Master. I'm going to say that now. He's the master, and yet it's too good for this.
Think of it like that.
Too good for this show.
A gold trophy isn't good enough.
It's not good because it's just it haunts me. Those images haunt me because they're just so beautiful. But Skyfall also had some amazing, gorgeous scenes.
Perfect.
Roger Deakins
He's the man.
He's the man.
He's the legend.
He's a master.
Yes.
He's a master.
He's a master of his craft.
He is a master of his craft. So.
All right. So moving on, we have Best Animated Feature Film of the Year: Brave, Frankenweenie, Paranorman, which I'm excited made it.
Me too.
The Pirates Band of Misfits, which it's interesting because it's the claymation one, right?
Yeah.
There's always kind of like that claymation ones that
But it never wins.
No, it never ever. And although it takes such a substantial amount of time in order to make that kind of a movie.
Right, yeah.
It's interesting that never wins. But it never does, so be it. And then, Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph, which I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Frankenweenie, I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Brave, I didn't like.
I don't think anyone really liked Brave.
I don't think anyone liked Brave.
Yeah.
It's
pretty abysmal.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So what do you think? What do you think's going to win? I mean, Paranorman.
It should win.
It should,
because that's a fantastic movie, but it won't win.
Yes.
Because it's that kind of movie that just won't win. It just won't get it.
Wreck-It Ralph will probably take it.
Yeah, I would say that. Or Frankenweenie.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. So, because it's Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Because it's Tim Burton, it could go to Frankenweenie, but because it's Wait, did Pixar do Wreck-It Ralph?
No.
No.
No. did Brave.
Okay.
Yeah. So it could be Brave too.
Because it's Pixar.
Because it's Pixar, it could be Brave, and there's a whole thing about Pixar.
Yeah.
They always win, even though they have horrible movies. Well, no. I'm sorry.
Cars 2 did win.
Their most recent films have been pretty terrible.
Yes.
So, unfortunately. But that's how it is.
Yeah. Best. So this next one is best writing screenplay based on material previously published.
Okay.
So we have Argo, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Life of Pi, Lincoln, and Silver Linings Playbook.
I don't know why.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? That's not up there.
What?
Cloud Atlas.
You are so right, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud Atlas should have been for everything, for score.
Could have been.
For film, writing,
editing,
directing, acting.
Mm-hmm.
The performances in that movie were mind-blowing.
Yes.
I totally high five to Matt Yoder.
That's what I do.
Totally forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. That should have totally been on there. Whoops.
Yeah.
And Silver Linings Playbook. I want to say one thing, just real quickly, about that movie. It's a good movie. It really is. But it's a standard film.
The word overrated.
Overrated comes... The first word, actually,
Yeah.
that comes to mind. Because, I mean, he's a great filmmaker. And yet, this movie just is... It's not him. It feels really standard. It feels really just kind of like, oh...
Like he was just making a movie just because he had
could
some
make a
time,
movie,
like
yeah.
just because he had a couple months in New York to do something
Right.
whenever he wanted. And now this is how he gets appreciated for it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how that works out. I mean, I'm probably going to go...
Hopefully Argo.
Just because
honestly,
it's Tony Kushner, I would like to see Lincoln win because I love Tony Kushner.
I do. I mean, it's a good script.
Mhm.
There's a lot of talking. It's
Yeah.
all it's all talking, and it
Well, hey, so...
and it's good. Look, and it sounds good,
Mhm.
but like
You know
for
what's
the
had a lot
whole
of talking?
story,
Aaron Sorkin has a lot of talking, and his scripts are...
always win.
Yeah.
But for a whole story, I'd say
Like it had a beginning, middle,
right.
and end.
And you know, yeah. I have to say, Life of Pi would
Yeah.
probably be that film.
And I remember you just being so like, I hope they don't wreck this movie. I hope they don't wreck this movie.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really did, and I think that it is great, and it should win.
Cool.
That category.
So next is best writing screenplay written directly for the screen. So movies that were just a notion in the screenwriter's head, and then this is the story that they wanted to tell. So it's an original screenplay. Amour, which has gotten a lot of press recently. For those of you who don't know, it's a German movie about a couple in their mid 80s and about I believe it's their daughter, who's also a musician.
Yeah.
Like something happens to her, and they have to like reconcile over it or something.
I have seen this movie.
Okay.
And it's about she has a stroke.
The daughter.
No.
The older one.
Yes. And it's about how they handle it, I guess.
Okay.
As for a script, I don't know if there was one.
Yeah.
Because it's all very
like long dramatic scenes.
Yes. Oh my God, long
of
takes.
Just like pauses.
Long takes that go on for minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much visual, and
it's hard for scripts. Although it's interesting because, and I think the guy who wrote it also directed it,
yes,
right?
He did.
So I think it's interesting where it's just, although he has to write it on a piece of paper, he already has the envision of it.
Right.
So he has to, in order for his actors to make a good scene, he has to be able to write this picture that is in his head.
Exactly.
So that to me, especially being more visual than with dialogue, that to me seems like it's also an incredibly complicated process.
It is, and that's very true, Matthew, and you're very right about that. Like, for real, like, you're right about that. That's totally true. But
there it is.
But
okay,
this film, honestly, for me, like, he makes these films that are very cold and heartless, almost. And this film, it was supposed to be warmer and more tender.
How could you be so heartless? Sorry.
Wrong time.
I know.
All right. It's supposed to be warm and tender and like a beautiful story about these two people, but he makes movies in a way that's not like that at all. So it was a weird kind of like clashing of two styles that just
didn't work cohesively together.
Didn't work as a film. And I don't know, I don't see its script, as the one thing that's like, oh my god, yeah, that's the great, script of the year, which it's not. Maybe Django probably.
Yeah,
but Django again, a script that really kind of went nowhere in 3 hours. Like, there was a lot of shit happening in that movie, so much, and yet it felt rushed. If anything,
if it wins, it's because Tarantino. It's because it's Tarantino.
Right.
So the same way that we would say it's probably going to win for the animated picture because Tim Burton is Frankenweenie or has Frankenweenie. That's
he is Frankenweenie.
Yeah, like that's kind of the same thing what we're going on.
Right. Yeah. And Django, it takes a long time, for it to get going and like start moving, and then it starts moving, and then it feels
flat again,
like really quickly. So I don't know. It's a little iffy. But Flight, I know I hate.
Yeah.
One of the worst scripts of the year, honestly.
And Denzel gets the best actor nod for it.
For fucking what? For fucking what? Like, he fucking just sits there and drinks for 2.5 hours. I'm sorry, but that's not a movie to me. But we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. I'm sorry.
Moonrise Kingdom?
Moonrise Kingdom. It's a painting on screen, man.
For those of you who know me personally, and I don't think I've been able to say anything about Wes Anderson on this show ever, I'm not a really big Wes Anderson
I'm not a big fan either.
Although I get it, and I appreciate what he does more than you could possibly... It's about, and I appreciate his work more than you can possibly imagine, and I'll finish that sentence. To me, it's kind of like the people who, in the last episode we were talking about music and being able to, how we don't talk about music on the show, but if we did, I'm sure we'd have something to say. The way that people in the music world would say, if they didn't say, whether or not you like, let's say, the Dave Matthews Band, you're like, oh, well, they're not really my thing. Well, that's cool, but can you appreciate the fact that they're all incredibly talented musicians?
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't, then I'm not going to take you seriously as anybody.
As a person.
Yeah. So I'll say the same thing where it's just like, although Wes Anderson movies are not my favorite at all, I appreciate, I love the fact that he has such rich and vivid characters that I'm not seeing anywhere else on screen. But there's always something about his story that just doesn't really, it doesn't really take me anywhere.
Which is what happened here with this movie, and so I'm a little bit surprised because the script for this movie is more about how it looks.
Yes.
For me, at least, it's a painting on the screen, and it's a beautiful looking film.
Absolutely.
I will say that forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful film, but I don't like it because its story is so thin that I would.
It's the same reason why I know that you and I how we love Kevin Smith because he has such rich, vivid characters,
right? And
then also strong dialogue. Same with Wes Anderson. But the thing that's also tough about most Kevin Smith films, and although it's weird to kind of talk Kevin Smith and talk Oscars in the same episode, but it's the same kind of writing where the story
stays in one place.
Yes, yeah,
for the most part.
Mm-hmm. So that just to kind of give you another analogy of what we're talking about here. Then Zero Dark 30.
I'm really confused about this one too because again, a lot of talking, not much story, not much of anything really. Just a lot of oh well.
It's because
it sounds smart, It's made to sound smart.
It's the one that the Oscars seem to go, well, yeah, because your movie is this movie, we're gonna put it in.
Right.
It doesn't really have a spot in there to be, but that's where it is.
Yeah.
So, moving right along, we took a long time on the script. I'm glad we did.
Yeah, but
it's the damn near most important part of the entire movie.
Yes.
And then as Seth MacFarlane lovingly put it, best achievement in directing. So the people who get paid to sit on a chair
and watch people make
a movie. Yes. So for that we have Michael Haneke for Amour, Ang Lee for Life of Pi, David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook, Steven Spielberg for Lincoln, and then I'm gonna guess that is Ben Zylan. Okay, so a silent T for his name, for Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Yes.
Can we just say who's going to win?
Ang Lee?
Ang Lee.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Why Ang Lee should win over Spielberg? Let's get into that because here's...
Okay. All right. Go for it.
People will say David O. Russell all day. But like we're saying, we don't think it's his
best movie.
It's his best movie. It's just a movie that he made because he had time to make a movie that he was like, oh, okay, well, I need something to do to pass the time.
He makes great films. That's the first thing
we're not debating
I'll ever say about him is that he's a fantastic filmmaker. The reason that he made this film was because his son
It's bipolar.
is bipolar.
Yes.
So that's the entire reason,
Why he made
for this film
Yes.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it tells a story that's so cliche, I guess, in some ways.
And mundane as
And-
far as a moviegoer.
Right.
Yeah.
That I almost feel like it was a bit
Misdirected.
misdirected. Thank you.
All right, check us out. Cool. So that's why, although in this list of 5, it's probably going to be a toss-up between Spielberg, David O. Russell, and Ang Lee. Why I will say Ang Lee is because it was just visually one of the best movies
Of the year.
the year.
It was a feast for the eyes, man.
Yes.
And it made you cry. Like those visuals just brought something out in me that I didn't even know was there.
Yes.
So that right there is great filmmaking.
And then
on
the
every
reason
level.
why Spielberg will also be tossed in there is, yeah, he's fucking Steven Spielberg. But this isn't the movie that's going to get that. If he does win, we personally don't think it's the one that he deserves to get. It is epic, which he does so well. But again, he directed War Horse, which was epic and
not
pretty
great.
terrible.
Yeah. Personally, like it was so like
dry.
It was what's the word?
Dry.
It was the whole thing was very dry to me. Yeah.
I mean, it's a small word to say to describe an entire movie, but
it was kind of dry.
So much substance.
Yeah.
As much as it had, and again, as much as we love Spielberg, and as much as I personally love Tony Kushner, and Daniel Day-Lewis, phenomenal. Of course, we all know that. Sally Field, Tommy Lee Jones, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, all crazy cast, crazy cast. I mean, in the same way that Cloud Atlas is getting snubbed, this is how we're kind of feeling about.
It's like too much.
Yeah,
it's
about
too
Lincoln.
much.
Yeah.
It's a. I don't know. I feel like it's just not that great. Like
it should have been in the way that people wanted and were kind of superseded with The Dark Knight Rises or The Dark Knight in general. The way that people were so anticipated and hyped up for those movies, I never got that.
Right,
and I feel like it's that kind of movie that you want to hype up, to be, oh my god, holy crap, the level of stellarness, which is a word that I made up, but I think you can understand what I'm trying to say, it wasn't achieved.
Yes.
Right?
That's what I would say about that movie.
There we go.
Boom.
All right. Weak on the hand slap.
Yeah,
so, best performance by an actress in a supporting role. Amy Adams in The Master. Great.
Yes.
Sally Field in Lincoln. Is it just because she's
I hate
old?
Sally Field. I'm
Okay.
done with her.
Anne Hathaway for Les Mis, which we all saw coming. Helen Hunt for The Sessions, which
Did
I did not say Helen Hunt.
I think you
did. Although this movie got snubbed like a motherfucker.
Oh my god, her performance was the worst part, and that's the only thing that got nominated.
Yes, which is very, very sad.
Her performance over fucking John Hawkes, who was brilliant, and yet she was a piece of shit in this movie. A piece of naked dog shit.
Okay, you're very angry.
You're
gonna see her naked in this movie.
I don't care. She's got saggy boobs.
Okay, well, you know
saggy
what?
Boobs.
Your wife one day will
not gonna have saggy boobs.
Okay. Heads up to Joey's future wife. You better not have saggy boobs or prepare for a divorce.
I will leave
and then Jackie Weaver for Silver Linings Playbook.
She was great.
I love her. That's great. I think that's fantastic because she's one of those character actors that you never see nominated. Well, I don't want to say nominated because who we were talking about, John Hawkes.
Yeah.
How he is amazing, but he's gotten nominated for good roles.
Yeah. Except for this one.
His
best role in his entire career,
where he's laying down.
He transformed himself completely, and yet fucking Helen Hunt takes it over him.
Okay.
Fuck you.
But I love the fact that they're giving credit to a woman who, in the same, I would put her in the same role as a Hugo Weaving or a Sam Wilkinson.
Sam Wilkinson?
Tom Wilkinson. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's who I would kind of put her in the league.
Definitely.
Every time that you see her, you're like, oh, that's right. I recognize that chick. She's always consistently great at what she does. I don't even know her name because she's not so prominent and famous.
Exactly.
But that's what helps her is because that makes you lose the fact of you seeing her on screen, but you know who she is.
Yes.
Right?
But for me personally, Amy Adams, please, Academy, do something right for once.
For something that you guys are doing so wrong this year.
Almost just She was almost perfect in that movie. She was almost the best one. And like, I can't stress enough how great she was, how scary she was. Like she's never like like mean.
We've never seen her take it to that.
Yeah,
place.
and she was dark, man. She was frightening, and she was real. Like it was amazing.
In Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, we have Alan Arkin for Argo.
Yes.
Robert De Niro for Silver Linings Playbook.
No.
Philip Seymour Hoffman for The Master.
Yes.
Tommy Lee Jones in Lincoln.
Yes.
And then Christoph Waltz in Django Unchained.
No.
Is it just because he won the time before? Like he does
that, and because he was not half as great as he was.
Here's what I'd say will be
Bastards.
the difference between his performance in Django and in the performance in Inglourious Basterds.
Tell me.
This script, this character was written for Christoph Waltz.
Right, and that's the problem.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Because he's not, like, although he's not acting in this movie.
Right. He's playing himself, basically.
I don't want to say playing himself because he's still
playing himself
he's
with
just
more
not
guns.
acting. Yeah.
With more guns.
He's
That's
just
it.
not acting.
He is that real, nice, charming guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's that real, nice, charming guy in this movie.
Yes.
And in
Inglourious
Basterds,
Basterds,
he was a
filthy.
fucking filthy pig piece of shit
Yes.
that I loved watching.
Yes.
I loved that character.
Every time that you got on screen with him, you were excited to see.
Yeah,
what he
I was
Yes.
pumped. At no point, did I feel that same enthusiasm for him. So
Here's kind of, and I don't know why this just clicked into my mind. It's really going to disgust you. It's just going to make you so pissed.
what?
Is I think that the movie that's going to be the movie that's going to win all the Oscars is going to be Silver Linings Playbook, and
Really?
Robert De Niro is going to take it in this one.
It better not be.
I'm looking.
I want Hoffman.
I'm looking at the list, and I'm seeing Silver Linings Playbook in damn near close to all of them.
Yeah.
There's only a few times where I've seen a bunch of movies nominated and no one ever wins in any of the categories, but I think this is going to be the one where it sweeps. Like the way that
I really hope not.
the way that Hurt Locker swept.
Yeah.
I don't want to say swept, but it did.
Took most of them.
It took the big ones.
5 or 6.
It took the big ones.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing that now, and I'm just like, it's gonna go there, and they're just gonna get abysmal. It's terrible.
It's gonna be so predictable, and I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
The Master should have won.
Yes. Philip Seymour Hoffman
was so brilliant.
If anything, it's a toss-up between Robert De Niro and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
See, it's not though. It's not because that movie is too much for the show.
Best performance by by an actress in a leading role. We have Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30.
No.
Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook, which
Yes.
I hope.
Yes. She'll win it.
You
She
think
needs
so?
it. She has to have it.
Okay.
I'm going with that right now.
Okay.
She was
and then
great in that movie. She's the best part of that whole movie.
Emmanuel Riva in Amour.
She was great.
This chick, who I'm not even going to be Miss
Kavanjane Wallace.
Miss Wallace is what I'll call her.
Kavanjane Wallace.
For Beast of the Southern Wild.
She was brilliant.
And
oh
The
my
Impossible.
God. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
Tell me.
Was there a movie that was better that a woman lead could have taken?
That's so true. You're so right.
Was there?
There wasn't that many, huge.
Like I'm trying to think. Like, was there like an Angelina Jolie movie that I'm missing out, or like
I think that the only
Hilary
other
Swank
one
or something that could have taken it, or something earlier on in the year that we might have missing?
Yes, there's one more.
What?
This is 40.
Leslie Mann.
Leslie Mann.
Leslie Mann.
Her performance.
Where the fuck is Leslie Mann in this? Okay,
Her
seriously.
performance in that movie was the greatest thing.
The most honest
Yes.
interpretation of a woman in that age going through what she's going through.
Ever.
Period. That's it. Done. Where the fuck is Leslie Mann?
Where the fuck is Leslie Mann? I'm sorry. I know. It's a mainstream comedy.
Yes.
I get it. But fucking that performance was so good.
Yes, and although that part was written probably specifically for her because it's a movie about her and Judd.
Right. But it's not her.
It's not.
It's not her. It's a character
I know.
that she portrays
I know.
perfectly in this movie.
Yes, perfect. Now, what I will say to this is the aspect that there is. When I think of Jennifer Lawrence, I think of her as the girl in the Hunger Games. I don't
do
know
too,
her.
yeah.
I don't know her enough as an actor of her complete body of works. Although that I know that she was in Homegirl in the X-Men movie, and then she did
Oh
something.
yeah, she was,
like,
right?
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
yeah. So it's like I'm seeing her, but it's just like I don't want her to win for a movie that is so like.
But she was great in the movie, so I feel like you have to kind of like.
Why can't we get Why can't
separately.
we get like in the way that Meryl Streep, every movie that you know Meryl Streep does, she'll get a nomination for. Like she won it for the Iron, or like same with Julianne Moore. Like they'll always get those nominations.
Yeah.
She's not there yet, and that's why I don't want to give her for this because it was nothing in a performance that I feel like I haven't seen. Like okay, Anne Hathaway in the maybe 38 minutes that she was on screen in as Catwoman.
Even.
As Catwoman.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. Honestly, she should probably switch with someone out here.
Yeah, like that's why. Like I'm just like I'm not really feeling it for this movie for this part. Although I'm hearing that she's doing a great job. That's great. But I just don't want this movie for her. I want something more. Like when Michelle Williams. Like I want her to be the next Michelle Williams.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Chastain, real quick.
Okay.
She had nothing to work with for fucking 2.5 hours of this movie. Nothing to work with.
And still she did a great job.
And still she did okay.
She did okay.
Honestly, like it was kind of just like her talking.
And although we haven't seen who was the youngest person to win an Oscar?
For
acting. Or
Will
for an
Ryder.
actor?
She was 13.
Who?
I forgot her name.
I know who you're talking about. She's famous though.
No, she's not. Oh no! No! She's on True Blood.
Yeah, Anna
that
Paquin.
chick. Yeah,
Anna Paquin. Won
for the piano. She was 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's the youngest person to ever win or be nominated.
Yes. No. To be
nominated.
This
girl is 11. No, 7.
7.
I want her to take this because I don't think that she'll ever see
have it again.
Yes.
And at the same time, I want her to get on that stage and be like, "Fuck you! I beat out all of you."
Yes.
Like old people, new people, young people. Fuck you!
This
I
is
beat
me
all
dumping.
Of you. I'm 7. You. Do something.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, and it's hard because you don't want to say in the same aspect, and I know that I've said this before, and I know that we're running long at 33 minutes, but it's the aspect that, although I love Leslie Mann, and we were just talking about it because this script was written for her, and again, she's not nominated, which I think is filthy disgusting. Like, she's acting because she doesn't know any better. Like, but she's bringing it to a place that's flawless.
It's so real for her.
Exactly.
You know?
But I hate, like, and I love that the fact that there are so many actors out there that are getting nominated, although you're not really seeing it in this string this time, but for when people who act exactly the way they are. I fucking hate that. Why am I going to nominate Michael Cera for being that awkward kid in that one movie that he's always that awkward kid in?
Right.
That's why,
I'm there with you.
That's why I like the fact that, I mean, Alan Arkin plays pretty much the same character all the time.
He plays himself in
exactly.
In that movie. He's great.
Yeah.
He's
he
who
wouldn't
he
be
is.
who he is. Exactly.
He is who he is. But at the same time, he's old. He won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Fucking get over it.
Yes.
Like, let's bring some new talent.
Exactly.
Bring some new people.
Bring
Everyone in that category has won an Oscar before.
Yes.
That's why,
Bring it on home, Miss Wallace. All right.
I'm with you there.
So, best performance by an actor in a leading role. We have Bradley Cooper for The Silver Linings Playbook, Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln, which he'll probably take home.
Take it again.
Hugh Jackman,
for his third Oscar.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Joaquin Phoenix for The Master.
Yes.
Denzel Washington for Flight.
Fuck no.
Okay, so here's all that I'm going to say.
All right.
It's going to be quick. No on Bradley Cooper, no on Denzel. Joaquin, I would love to see take it, but I don't think that enough people will give it the appreciation that it deserves, hence why it's not even fucking nominated for Best Movie of the Year.
I know, fucking, come on.
So, Hugh Jackman, I think, I would love to see Hugh Jackman win this because I don't think that there's another role out there for him unless he takes it to the way that Christian Bale took it to The Fighter.
Yeah, or Matthew
McConaughey.
Where is he on this list?
Yes.
Where is he for Magic Mike?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
That performance was so perfect in every way possible.
Now, it's funny because it's like how can you give How can you give Robert Downey Jr. the nomination for when he was in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
You're gonna totally look past this movie.
Oh my god! Exactly. Magic Mike. I will go down in history as saying that was one of the best films of the year.
Steven Soderbergh.
Steven Soderbergh made this stupid story into this beautiful film.
That is now being a Broadway movie.
An
amazing Broadway show.
Really?
They're turning it into a Broadway show. And a sequel.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Magic Mike, watch that movie if you haven't. It's a brilliant film. He was brilliant in it. He should have been nominated. It should be on the Best Picture list. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Daniel Day-Lewis, I just hope... Here's my quick little 45-minute rant on why I'm not Daniel Day-Lewis's movie boner guy.
Okay.
I don't like the fact when you get so good at your craft. Okay. Let me just break it down for you.
Okay.
When people, so say that you have a chef, and say that chef goes, well, I have nothing left to learn because I feel like I've done everything.
Right.
That's how I feel that Daniel Day-Lewis is at. Because he'll just stay in character the entire time, and you'll have to go, oh, hello, Mr. Lincoln. No, that's not acting. I don't think that's acting. I think that's you.
It's pretty fucking great.
I think that's you. Acting is being able for me, acting, and again, because it's such a small scene in that movie, and I'll bring it back to it.
What?
That scene in The Dark Knight Rises when Anne Hathaway is in the bar and she turns on.
Yeah.
So Anne Hathaway is playing a character who psychologically is one skilled motherfucker, and then she's able to start crying on a fucking dime.
Yeah.
That to me is acting. You staying in character, that's not acting. You're just I'm the same person on and off the set. Well, that's just you being the same person on and off the set.
I don't know though because he gets into it.
I get it.
He becomes the person.
I get it. That's not the acting that I like.
He got so into it for this movie that every morning on set he had to walk through a fucking fridge.
I know.
That said time machine on it.
I know.
To get back into fucking character.
I know.
That's acting.
I don't.
It's pretentious as fuck.
Exactly.
Yes, but it's acting. He's a pretentious bastard. But if he wasn't, his performances would be half as good as they are now.
I know. I think back to watching There Will Be
Blood. I freeze up when I see him.
He is
so good.
Yes. Again, what we feel like with Lincoln as a whole, though, it was that epic masterpiece that
wasn't a masterpiece.
Right.
He was good in it. He was very good. Mm-hmm. He wasn't amazing. It's not his best role. It's really not his best role. But he was Lincoln, man. I saw him.
I get it.
And I know
you. I know what you're saying.
And I know that I said that I would not ever, view him as Lincoln. And then I walked in that theater 2 minutes in. 2 minutes in, I'm like, that's fucking Abraham Lincoln on screen right now.
Yes.
So that's why he's so brilliant.
Okay.
Hold on. Can we do one more?
One more thing. Bradley Cooper.
Denzel.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Who else could be up there?
John Hawkes.
John Hawkes. Matthew McConaughey. Hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
I know that we're Seth MacFarlane is Ted.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg did great in that movie, by the way.
Yeah. Sure, I'm trying to think of who else could have been who else was great this year. I would say Christian Bale in Batman. He was actually very good in that movie.
Was there a lead in Django? Jamie Foxx, but
Jamie Foxx was. He was good. I think that actually
Kerry Washington.
Fuck her. No.
Whoa.
Fuck that performance.
Okay.
I hate her. Christoph Waltz was in the entire movie. He's
not a main character.
He's not a supporting character by any means. He is the movie. So I think he probably should have been in the lead role, which would have made room for Leo DiCaprio.
That would have been
ideal. Perfect.
That would have been ideal. Or
Sam Jackson, who was also brilliant. But Bradley Cooper, I like you, but I don't like you in this movie.
Exactly. Same thing with what we're saying what I'm saying for Jennifer Lawrence is I like you, but I want you to have a movie that takes you to this place of epicness, and I don't think that this is the one.
He was good in the role, but he wasn't he wasn't perfect.
Yes.
And he had to be perfect.
Anyone could have taken that role.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yeah.
It was just he happened to have landed on a good day. You know
it
what I
was
mean?
so broad to me. Like the whole thing was really kind of simple.
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix, please take it. Please win. Please. You transformed your body. You went insane for 3 years for this fucking movie. Please do it. All right, I'm done.
Okay, so last we have Best Motion Picture of the Year, and though I'm doing a quick count because usually for the past 3 years they've
There's
done
been
10,
but now there's only 9.
and now there's 9
Why
this year.
not 10? I don't get that.
Because it could have had
The
what
Master.
movie? The Master.
It
in
could,
there.
and they said nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, no Master for you.
Yes. Or I mean, to go back, best performance in an actor. Although it's hard because you can't tell which one's the leading role, but that's another one where Cloud Atlas could have been.
Oh hell yeah, Cloud Atlas could have taken.
Or the actor
Tom
with,
Hanks.
like with Life of Pi.
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving played a fucking woman in this movie. He played a woman, and he was better than all the female actors.
Okay. So,
why?
Okay, so best motion picture of the year,
All right,
Amor, Argo,
It's not a tiger.
I know, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Django Unchained, Les Miserables, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Lining Playbook, and Zero Dark 30.
Nothing at all surprising there.
Except the fact that the Master is not there.
That's the only surprising thing. But I guess as to what's there, it's just a fucking
What's gonna win?
of just nothingness.
You don't even care what wins. I know that you don't even care.
I'm gonna go. It's a tie between Argo and Zero Dark 30 right now. That's my pick.
I would say that it seems to me like it's going to be a tie between Silver Linings Playbook and Zero Dark 30. Why I don't say Argo is because it's just although it got a lot of rave reviews, it didn't seem to me like something that deserved this is the best movie of the year, because it wasn't. It wasn't the best movie.
It really wasn't.
It really. What? No. There's no but. If it's not the best movie of the year, then it's not. It's just.
But that's us.
No,
most
it's
people
not,
think it's the best movie of the year.
They're all. They're unfortunately. It's not, and I apologize. And I'd love to see Ben Affleck and George Clooney up there shaking hands and high fiving and hugging and kissing because that would be awesome. But although I would love to see a musical take it.
But not this one.
But not this one. It's a great movie. Great movie.
I didn't think so, but
great movie.
He loved it.
Life of Pi. I'd love to see take it
for me.
That's your underdog.
That's my pick.
Yes,
is Life of Pi because it's just so good and it's so movie.
Yes,
it's so much movie that
yes.
I can't not hope that it wins.
And here's the thing: it was that underdog of epic moviness that you want, like in the same way that people would see The Hurt Locker and go, "Wow, that was a fucking epic movie," because it was so intense.
Yeah.
That's what I would say for Life of Pi. It is that it's such a that is the reason why you go see the movies in the same way, and in the same way that you go see Lincoln because it's a Steven Spielberg movie and he has that epic grandioso scale of all things awesome. This is what I would hope for Life of Pi, but I feel like it was so much under the radar that it's just on there because it's Ang Lee. But I think Silver Lining Playbook's going to take it, and
really?
I really do. I think that although it's not for the movie that David O. Russell deserves to have.
Win Best Picture. I feel like he might take it because he's made all these great films in the past
and hasn't
won yet.
Yes.
So I think here's his. Oh, you have a great career. Mm-hmm. Take the Oscar. So he's going to take kind of okay movie.
Yes, he's going to take Best Motion Picture of the Year. He's going to take Best Script. And Jennifer Lawrence is going to take Best Supporting. Or is she Best Supporting or Best Lead?
Best Lead.
And then sorry, to wrap up, we had our alarm. And then, hey, dog. We're talking.
That's a dog.
Yes. So, yeah, he's going to...
He's growling.
Austin. Austin.
Here, come here.
Is there anybody even here? Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yes. This is how we're going to wrap it up. So I think it's going to be his year. He's going to take best movie, best screenplay. Jennifer Lawrence is going to take the actress. Excuse me. And then Robert De Niro is probably going to take Best Supporting. Yeah, it's gonna be a Silver Linings Playbook night. Although I don't want it to be, that's the way that I think it's going to be. With that said, it's been 45 minutes of fun.
It's been 45 minutes of me. This was a quick little 45-minute rant.
This is a quick little 45-minute rant.
Oh my god.
I'm Matthew Yoder. This is Joey Rodriguez. This is Austin. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. It's been a great year for movies. I can't wait to get all dressed up and watch the Oscars at my house and just yell at the screen for the next 2.5 hours. Best part about these Oscars is going to be, ladies and gentlemen,
what? Seth MacFarlane. Yes.
That was not even scripted because we both knew that that's going to be the best part. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out. Enjoy. Bye.